Hello, this is Cryptolyze. I hope you are well. This Monday, 18 December 2023, we meet today to talk about FTM, Phantom's crypto. As usual, we will dissect this video into two parts. A fundamental part, we are going to come back to Phantom, to the role of FTM in Phantom and the news of Phantom. And then, we will go to the graphs to project short, medium, long-term on prices, on purchase prices, sales prices. And it starts right away. If you want to train and really enjoy bull running, it's simple. There is perfect, complete, free training available. It's through an educational journey that teaches you everything about blockchain, crypto, investment, technical analysis, and trading. All this for free in comments and descriptions. You have exercises, multiple choice questions, modules, videos, guides, everything to support you in your progress. What is Phantom? So Phantom is a level 1 blockchain that was born during the entire Ethereum killer period with Ethereum saturation for decentralized finance, in which we looked for a set of other blockchains that could provide and accommodate low-cost decentralized finance. Cost and Phantom was born precisely and exploded during this period with a concept which is quite nice, in which they put forward the notion of DAG, DAG being through the Enquasis, which is precisely their validation process and consensus, which is in fact no longer a blockchain, but a set of deconstructed blocks, as we can see the representation here. A blockchain is a block then a block, and we have a DAG, which will look like this, where it is precisely a set of blocks which are linked but not necessarily one after the other. This allows us to be able to process much more transactions and being able to add a notion of asynchrony, and this is the strength of Phantom. Alongside, they have a solution for businesses which is rather classic almost for all blockchains. And next to it, we have Phantom Opera, which is their EVM, which is generally their virtual machine, which allows smart contracts to be executed, and which is EVM compatible between others. There are plenty of other features. They notably launched Sonic, we'll discuss it later, which is a modification of Phantom Opera, and with an increase in performance which is quite drastic. We'll talk about it a little later. It is also one of the big blockchains that can offer gas monetization. What does that mean? This means that when I build a decentralized application on Phantom, I have the possibility of being able to recover part of the costs that the blockchain recovers from all the transactions that are carried out. This means that developers of decentralized applications have additional means of remuneration. And that's the goal. Don't forget that a blockchain is a protocol which aims to provide developers with tools to build decentralized applications. Yes, but above all, to attract developers to build decentralized applications that attracts users and creates costs. This is the principle. This is the business model that we find behind blockchains. If this is not the case, in this case, the blockchain does not work. Besides, we had some small problems common to this year's 2023 with Phantom, which is not Phantom the problem, but in any case, one of the main bridges in which we had a hack. So we don't know if it's a hack or if it's gone. From the CEO, is it wanted, not wanted? In short, we don't have too much information either. In any case, impossible to verify it. And clearly it broke the upward acceleration of Phantom. We will look at it in the graphics later, but we must understand that this has happened. Now we have the instantiation of layer 0 and acceleration directly to the level of Phantom. So we now have big bridges, and which are very solid, notably with the layer 0 solution, which is really very strong, which is an interoperability multi-hall solution without having to instantiate the chains, and that's huge. We'll discuss it a little later. Besides, they decided to give a little more visibility on their new development with the Tosca project, Carmen, and the modification of their software part, which will be integrated, and especially the launch of Sonic. Sonic, he is in net testing for the moment, and he will normally arrive in mainnet running 2024. It is a modification of their virtual machine which allows smart contracts to be executed. We have a drastic increase in the number of transactions per second with a finality of less than a second, which is just enormous, and above all a reduction in storage. We are going from 11 tera to 1 tera of storage. It is just enormous in terms of improvement. So they are trying to really evolve their blockchain for the integration of new technologies. That's what I personally assume. Current 2024, 2025. They had started to discuss and talk about it at the end of 2022, as if they were thinking about the evolution of their blockchain and consensus to integrate new consensuses and keep in, makes this notion of asynchronous with better performance. And I think that Sonic is the first step towards this new technology and the evolution thereafter. So, that being said, we are going to tackle the technical part. We will see that we still have a lot of things with a technique which is rather clean, with Elliotist 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves finished here on the ATH, which was carried out in October 2021, which gave us the BC, the AR, the ST. Once again, we had FANTOM, who really pushed on the second part of the 2021 bull run. He's still a little late. That's the reflection we're going to have a little later when we go approach. Here, what is happening? Once we finished these 5 Elliotist waves, we did a rather classic ABC retracement, with behind the establishment of a sign of weakness for a BCR-ST-SOW distribution of wick-off, in which we have a sign of weakness, which is an accumulation of wick-off, and which is even very, very beautiful in terms of accumulation of wick-off. When we look, we maintain the low that was carried out by FTX, and we consolidated well on it in July-September. And we actually see the bearish breakout here. It's the bridge problem, so we're really having a lot of trouble recovering from that with here a key level, which was the SEC announcement. The fact that they were certainly going to attack almost all altcoins as being securities. And we see that we reconsolidated above and that we maintained the lows, which is a very important level. On the other hand, what is important to note is that we had an accumulation here, that we broke the automatic rally here, therefore very big acceleration, and then we had the bridge problems with a big breathing which took us very low for the retest before leaving again. Clearly it is positive that we are reconsolidating above the SEC level, but it is not enough. Currently, when we see this candle where we retested, we still have quite a bit of volatility. I think that it would be very important at the level of FANTOM to consolidate above the 0.5 to, in fact, attack this here, retest. If we don't break this level, we don't have a bullish return, okay? We maintain this low, so we have a low which is higher than the previous one, which is positive. Now, you have to make a high higher than the previous one, to validate, in fact, an upward dynamic, restructure, and start again. If we don't do that, well, in this case, we don't have a signal. We still remain in this lateralization phase, in which we can stay for a while, even if we know that FANTOM already has an ecosystem that is well developed and that they have a runaway. So that is to say, sufficient cash to be able to continue to survive and develop and create interest for the next bull run. However, we will not have a bullish breakout. What we really want is to have a bullish break, and that will happen through a consolidation above the 0.5 and 0.6 and then start to rise again. What will we have as a target for FANTOM? What is already certain is that we will have a big sell-off at the 1.6 level, in which many people will have remained stuck here in this double top, in which this upward acceleration has deceived a lot of people, and therefore we has a lot of sell-off planned here. Especially if we look, for those who bought here at 0.15, 0.16, 0.17, we have almost 1 times 10, so obviously we will have a significant profit in this part, and then we can project a little further, in which we could have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5, therefore wave 3 Elliotist, which would have as target 1,618 with a FANTOM in the surroundings of $5-6. Once again, we must be aware that FANTOM is a level 1 blockchain which already has an ecosystem, which already has large developers, which has liquidity, which has a very substantial runaway in which we are sure a very nice accumulation, and with a market cap which is relatively low. Low market cap also means risk, but also means opportunity, in which if we look at all the blockchains that broke out on 2021, FANTOM was underperforming compared to the generality, in which we had a TVL ratio, therefore total value lock, really lower compared to the market cap which was distributed. And this is still the case today, which will certainly be the case during the next bull run, and so we will have to monitor, are we going to enter a buy phase of overperformance? And at this moment we could find a FANTOM rather in the area of the 10 rather than in the 5. Or are we going to stay in this trend of underperformance below the rest? That's the answer B very quickly during the next bull run. I hope you like this video. If so, don't forget to leave me a like and a comment and to share. It supports the channel. It supports the work that I do every day. And we will meet again tomorrow at 7 for the daily to come back to the crypto news, to the BTC news, and to analyze the graphs. It's tomorrow 7.